In a world where chaos reigns and uncertainty prevails, there exists a timeless philosophy that empowers men to navigate life's challenges with unwavering strength and clarity. Join me as we uncover the timeless principles of Stoicism that can transform your mindset, fortify your spirit, and lead you towards a life of purpose and fulfillment. Get ready to embark on a journey of self-discovery, resilience, and growth. This is 10 Stoic Secrets for Men in 2024. Let's dive in. Lesson 1. Never go back to the women who cheated you. Stoic sages such as Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius navigated the turbulent waters of human experience with unwavering resolve. They beckon us to stand firm in the face of adversity, to forge our inner citadel against the tempest of destructive emotions. When confronted with the specter of betrayal, Stoicism offers a steadfast refuge, a sanctuary of self-control and fortitude. For it is not the actions of others that define us, but our response to them. As Epictetus once declared, men are disturbed not by things, but by the views which they take of them. To those who have tasted the bitter sting of betrayal, the temptation to revisit the source of their anguish may loom large. But Stoicism bids us to chart a different course, a path illuminated by reason and virtue. For to return to the arms of one who has betrayed our trust is to forsake the very essence of our dignity. In the realm of Stoicism, there exists no room for resentment or bitterness. Instead, we are called to cultivate an inner garden of tranquility, a bastion of peace that remains unscathed by the storms of passion. As Marcus Aurelius observed, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. It is through the crucible of adversity that the true Stoic emerges, tempered by the fires of adversity and forged into an indomitable spirit. For in every trial lies an opportunity for growth, a chance to transcend our earthly sorrows and ascend to higher realms of understanding. So let us heed the wisdom of the ancients and walk the path of Stoicism with courage and conviction. Let us cast off the shackles of resentment and embrace the liberating power of forgiveness. And let us never falter in our pursuit of virtue, for in the crucible of adversity, we shall emerge stronger, wiser, and more resilient than ever before. For in the words of Seneca, difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body, and it is through the crucible of adversity that the true Stoic emerges, tempered by the fires of trial and tribulation. So let us embrace the teachings of Stoicism and forge ahead with unwavering resolve. For in the end, it is not our hardships that define us, but our response to them. Lesson 2. Never let a woman disrespect you. The Stoics beckon us to embrace a philosophy of inner fortitude, a philosophy that teaches us to navigate the tempests of existence with grace and poise. At the heart of Stoicism lies the principle of self-mastery, the idea that true power resides not in the external world, but within ourselves. And so, when faced with the challenge of being disrespected by another, particularly a woman, the Stoic does not react with anger or indignation. Instead, he turns inward, drawing upon the wellspring of his own inner strength. For the Stoic understands that the actions of others are beyond his control. He recognizes that to be swayed by the whims of another's disrespect is to relinquish his own power, to become a slave to external forces. But this does not mean that the Stoic passively accepts disrespect. No, far from it. Instead, he meets it with a calm resolve, with a steely determination born of self-discipline and self-respect. For as the Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. In the face of disrespect, the Stoic chooses to react with dignity and composure, refusing to allow the actions of others to dictate his own sense of worth. Yet the path of the Stoic is not an easy one. It requires constant vigilance, unwavering discipline, and a steadfast commitment to the principles of reason and virtue. It demands that we confront our own weaknesses, our own fears and our own desires, and transcend them through the power of our own will. But in this struggle lies our greatest triumph. For in mastering ourselves, we become masters of our own destiny. we rise above the petty concerns of ego and pride and discover a deeper, more profound sense of fulfillment. And so, my friends, let us heed the call of the Stoics. Let us embrace the philosophy of inner strength, of self-control, and of unwavering resolve. Let us never allow ourselves to be disrespected, not by others, nor by our own passions. For in the crucible of adversity, we forge the steel of our souls. And in the face of disrespect, we rise, unbroken and unbowed, guided by the timeless wisdom of Stoicism. Lesson 3. Don't ever go broke trying to impress women. This is the tale of our modern world, where the currency of worth is measured not by character or virtue, but by the superficial trinkets one can acquire. But let us retreat momentarily from this cacophony of materialism and delve into the timeless wisdom of the Stoics. For in their teachings, we find a beacon of clarity amidst the fog of desire. They speak not of the fleeting pleasures of wealth or status, but of something far more profound, the mastery of oneself. In the pursuit of love and affection, we often find ourselves tempted to open wide the coffers of our wealth, hoping to dazzle and impress. But the Stoic sage reminds us that true worth lies not in the possessions we flaunt, but in the strength of our character, the depth of our integrity. Marcus Aurelius, the revered Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, once remarked, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." These words echo through the corridors of time, reminding us that our happiness is not contingent upon the approval of others, but on our own inner state. Consider then the folly of squandering our resources in pursuit of fleeting validation. Like a ship lost at sea, tossed about by the whims of the waves, so too are we adrift when we allow our worth to be dictated by external forces. Instead, let us anchor ourselves in the harbor of self-reliance, cultivating a wealth that transcends the material. The Stoics teach us the art of detachment, not from the world around us, but from the incessant cravings of the ego. Epictetus, the former slave-turned-philosopher, reminds us that wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. In embracing this ethos, we free ourselves from the shackles of consumerism, finding solace in the simplicity of our desires. Let us not mistake self-restraint for deprivation, for in the crucible of adversity, true strength is forged. It is through the practice of Stoic virtues, temperance, courage, wisdom, that we cultivate a resilience that withstands the tumultuous tides of life. So, my fellow travelers on this journey called life, let us heed the timeless wisdom of the Stoics. Let us resist the siren song of materialism, and instead invest in the currency of character. For in the end, it is not the riches we amass that define us, but the depth of our inner fortitude. Lesson 4. Strive to improve yourself always. At the heart of Stoicism lies the profound understanding that true power stems not from external circumstances, but from within. The Stoic sage does not seek to control the world around them, but rather to master their own inner domain. As the ancient philosopher Epictetus once said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." In the pursuit of self-improvement, we are called to embrace the disciplines of the mind and spirit. Like a blacksmith forging steel, we must temper our souls through the fires of adversity. Every setback is but an opportunity for growth, every challenge a chance to hone our resilience. The Stoic does not shy away from pain or discomfort, for they understand that true strength arises from the crucible of suffering. As Marcus Aurelius, the revered Stoic emperor, wrote in his Meditations, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Central to the Stoic ethos is the notion of overcoming destructive emotions. Anger, fear, and despair are but fleeting shadows, cast by the light of reason and virtue. Through the practice of mindfulness and self-awareness, we learn to acknowledge these emotions without being enslaved by them. In the face of adversity, we are called to exercise our capacity for endurance and fortitude. Like the ancient Stoic philosopher Seneca, who faced exile and persecution with unwavering resolve, we must stand firm in the face of life's trials. But Stoicism is not merely about weathering the storms of life. It is also about finding joy and fulfillment in the present moment. By cultivating gratitude and acceptance, we learn to find beauty in the simplest of things: a sunrise, a gentle breeze, the laughter of a loved one. In the grand tapestry of existence, we are but fleeting threads, woven into the fabric of eternity. Yet in our brief moment upon this earth, we have the power to shape our destiny and leave a lasting legacy. Let us therefore strive always to improve ourselves, to cultivate the virtues of wisdom, courage, and compassion. For in the words of the Stoic sage Epictetus, it is not events that disturb the minds of men, but their judgments about them. May we then choose wisely and live nobly, guided by the timeless wisdom of Stoicism. Lesson 5. Respect and safety for those around you and for those behind you. Respect, dear fellow travelers, is not merely a superficial gesture, but a profound acknowledgement of the inherent worth and dignity of every soul we encounter. It is a recognition of the shared humanity that binds us together, transcending the boundaries of race, creed, and circumstance. As the Stoic sage Epictetus once remarked, "Know first who you are, and then adorn yourself accordingly." In our pursuit of respect, we must first look inward, confronting the shadows that lurk within our own hearts. For how can we expect to honor others if we fail to honor ourselves? It is through the cultivation of self-awareness and introspection that we unmask the hidden biases and prejudices that cloud our judgment. But respect, dear companions, extends beyond mere words and gestures. It is a commitment to ensuring the safety and well-being of those around us. Just as the Stoic emperor Marcus Aurelius implored, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one." In a world plagued by discord and division, it is our solemn duty to stand as guardians of peace and harmony. We must strive to create safe spaces where all are welcomed and valued, regardless of their differences. For in the words of the Stoic philosopher Seneca, "We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality." Yet in our pursuit of respect and safety for others, we must not neglect ourselves. We are but fragile vessels, susceptible to the storms that rage both within and without. It is through the practice of Stoic virtues, fortitude, temperance, and wisdom, that we fortify our souls against the onslaught of destructive emotions. So let us, dear comrades, embark upon this noble quest with hearts ablaze and spirits undaunted. Let us walk the path of Stoicism, guided by the light of respect and safety, until we reach the shores of inner peace and fulfillment. For in the words of the Stoic poet Epictetus, "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has." May we find solace in the knowledge that, in our pursuit of respect and safety, we are not alone. United in purpose and bound by virtue, we shall overcome the trials that beset us, emerging stronger and wiser with each step we take. Lesson 6. Don't beg for attention. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus once declared, "Don't seek for everything to happen as you wish it would, but rather wish that everything happens as it actually will. Then your life will flow well." This profound insight urges us to relinquish our incessant need for control and instead embrace the inherent unpredictability of life. In our quest for self-mastery, we must confront the tempestuous seas of our own emotions. The Stoic sage Seneca reminds us, "He who fears death will never do anything worthy of a living man." This admonition serves as a poignant reminder that it is only through confronting our fears and embracing discomfort that we can truly transcend our limitations. In the face of adversity, the Stoic remains steadfast, like a mighty oak weathering the fiercest of storms. As Marcus Aurelius, the revered Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." It is through cultivating inner resilience that we can navigate the tumultuous waters of life with grace and dignity. But perhaps the greatest gift bestowed upon us by the Stoic philosophy is the realization that true freedom lies in the mastery of our own minds. As the Stoic teacher Epictetus taught, freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. In relinquishing our attachment to external outcomes, we discover a profound sense of liberation, a freedom that transcends the constraints of circumstance. So let us heed the timeless wisdom of the Stoics and chart a course towards inner tranquility. Let us cast off the shackles of external validation and embrace the boundless potential that lies within each of us. For in the crucible of adversity, we forge our own destiny, and in the depths of our own souls, we discover the true meaning of freedom. In the words of the Stoic sage Epictetus, don't beg for attention. Stand tall in the knowledge that true greatness lies not in the adulation of others, but in the quiet strength of self-mastery. Let us embark on this journey together, arm in arm, as fellow travelers on the path to enlightenment. For in the embrace of Stoicism, we find not only solace, but also the courage to confront the tumultuous seas of life with unwavering resolve. Lesson 7. Exercise at least 4 times a week. Exercise, my fellow travelers on this journey of life, is not merely a physical exertion, but a sacred ritual of self-mastery. In the words of Epictetus, no man is free who is not master of himself. Our bodies are the vessels through which we navigate the trials of existence, and it is our solemn duty to cultivate strength and resilience within them. But why, you may ask, is exercise so crucial to the Stoic way of life? It is because through the crucible of physical exertion, we temper our spirits, forging a resolute resolve that is impervious to the storms that assail us. As Seneca so eloquently put it, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Through disciplined exercise, we learn to distinguish between the ephemeral whispers of our fears and the unyielding truth of our inner strength. Yet, let us not mistake the pursuit of exercise for mere vanity or self-indulgence. It is not the pursuit of physical perfection that drives us, but rather the cultivation of a robust mind-body connection that enables us to confront life's adversities with grace and composure. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. In the crucible of exercise, we confront our fears and insecurities head-on, embracing discomfort as the crucible in which our character is forged. We learn to silence the incessant chatter of doubt and self-criticism, replacing it with the steady rhythm of our breath and the rhythmic beat of our hearts. It is through the discipline of exercise that we cultivate the virtue of resilience, learning to embrace discomfort as the crucible in which our character is forged. As the Stoic philosopher Musonius Rufus wrote, "The man who exercises self-control in all things will more easily resist the temptations that beset him." In the crucible of physical exertion, we learn to confront our fears and insecurities head-on, emerging stronger and more resilient with each passing trial. So, my fellow travelers, I implore you to heed the call of Stoicism and embrace the discipline of exercise. Let us not shrink from discomfort, but rather embrace it as the crucible in which our character is forged. For it is through the pursuit of physical exertion that we cultivate the strength and resilience to confront life's adversities with grace and composure. Lesson 8. Don't ask to go if you aren't invited. Marcus Aurelius, emperor and philosopher, illuminated the path to inner tranquility when he declared, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." His words, like beacons in the night, guide us back to ourselves, reminding us that our reactions to the world shape our reality far more than the world itself. Seneca, with his penetrating insight, admonished us to be like the promontory against which the waves continually break, but it stands firm and tames the fury of the water around it. In the tempest of desire, in the tumult of longing, we must stand as steadfast sentinels, unmoved by the winds of temptation that seek to sweep us away. Epictetus, born a slave and yet richer in spirit than many kings, taught us the art of self-mastery when he proclaimed, "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has." In the crucible of adversity, in the furnace of want, we discover the true measure of our strength, not in the acquisition of external treasures, but in the cultivation of an indomitable spirit. To ask to go where we are not invited is to relinquish control over our fate, to surrender the reins of our destiny to forces beyond our command. It is to forsake the Stoic virtues of courage, wisdom, justice, and temperance in favor of fleeting pleasures and hollow pursuits. So let us heed the wisdom of the Stoics. Let us heed the call to self-mastery and inner peace. Let us embrace the truth that to accept what is within our power and relinquish what is not is the highest form of liberation. For in the serenity of acceptance, in the clarity of purpose, we find the strength to weather any storm, the courage to face any trial. Don't ask to go if you aren't invited, for in the acceptance of our lot lies the key to true freedom. Lesson 9. Always have cash on hand. We, disciples of the ancient sages, understand the value of preparedness in the face of adversity. Like seasoned sailors navigating treacherous waters, we carry with us a sturdy vessel to weather the tumultuous seas, cash on hand. In the annals of Stoic wisdom, we find echoes of this timeless truth. Seneca, the venerable Stoic philosopher, admonished us to set aside a certain number of days, during which we shall content ourselves with the scantiest and cheapest fare, with coarse and rough dress, saying to ourselves the while, "Is this the condition that I feared?" In these words we discern the essence of resilience, the power of detachment from material possessions. For in possessing cash, we possess not merely a medium of exchange, but a symbol of self-reliance and prudence. It is the antidote to the poisonous allure of instant gratification, the shield against the onslaught of impulsive desires. Picture, if you will, a scene of chaos unfolding before your eyes. The market crashes, fortunes vanish like morning mist, and panic grips the hearts of the masses. Yet amidst the tumult, there stands a figure, calm and composed, clutching in hand the currency of clarity, cash. In the teachings of Epictetus, the Stoic sage enslaved and later freed, we find the kernel of wisdom that guides our actions. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants, he declared. Thus, in carrying cash, we affirm our mastery over desire, our defiance of the whims of fate. But let us not mistake prudence for miserliness, nor preparedness for paranoia. Our adherence to Stoic principles does not entail hoarding wealth for its own sake, but rather cultivating a mindset of abundance within the confines of simplicity. For in the depths of our souls, we recognize that true wealth resides not in the coffers of kings, but in the richness of our inner lives. It is the wealth of character, forged through trials and tempered by wisdom, that sustains us in times of tribulation. So let us heed the call of Stoicism, my fellow travelers on the path of virtue. Let us arm ourselves with the currency of clarity, that we may navigate the labyrinth of life with steadfast resolve. And though the storms may rage and the winds may howl, we shall remain unshaken, anchored by the timeless truths of Stoic philosophy. Lesson 10. Look for many sources of income. Consider the Stoic sage, whose gaze penetrates the veil of illusion, beholding the fleeting nature of external possessions. In the face of uncertainty, they do not cling to the fragile branches of a single income source, but instead cultivate a resilient garden of financial abundance, drawing sustenance from diverse streams. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, reminds us that the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. In the crucible of adversity, the Stoic does not falter, but harnesses the obstacles as stepping stones to greater heights. Through the pursuit of multiple incomes, we fortify ourselves against the caprices of fate, transforming setbacks into opportunities and challenges into triumphs. Imagine the ancient Stoic, Epictetus, whispering in your ear, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." In diversifying our sources of income, we liberate ourselves from the shackles of dependence, cultivating a mindset of abundance amidst the ebb and flow of fortune. With each additional stream, we diminish the power of external forces to dictate our destiny, reclaiming sovereignty over our lives. Yet the pursuit of multiple incomes transcends mere financial prudence. It is a testament to the Stoic commitment to virtue. Seneca, the tutor of emperors, teaches us that wealth is the slave of the wise man, the master of the fool. In seeking diverse sources of sustenance, we cultivate the virtues of temperance, courage, and wisdom, forging a fortress of inner resilience, impervious to the assaults of fate. In the annals of history, we find echoes of Stoic wisdom resounding through the ages. From the humble Stoic philosopher to the illustrious statesman, each exemplar of this ancient tradition beckons us to embrace the path of self-mastery and fortitude. In the pursuit of multiple incomes, we heed their call, weaving a tapestry of prosperity and purpose that transcends the temporal realm. As we traverse the labyrinth of life, let us heed the timeless wisdom of the Stoics. Let us embrace the pursuit of multiple incomes, not as a mere financial strategy, but as a sacred journey of self-discovery and empowerment. In diversifying our sources of sustenance, we cultivate the virtues that adorn the soul and illuminate the path to true flourishing.